All right, guys and girls, your boy 005 Dynasty. I am back. I am back. And I promise you guys and girls, I am working on a follow-up video to the Ninth Wonder. Whole sampling is harder than creating from scratch. That video is going to be cinematic. It's going to be a movie. So I hope all the people who have been coming to my channel recently, they stick around, if they want to stick around and, follow me on this journey, watch my next videos and stuff like that. But there's a couple things I wanted to speak about really quick. I feel like a couple people in the chat, they kind of getting a little, agitated with me. So I do want to say this. I want to say I'm the type of person, I speak straightforward. Like, I don't let the emotions get in to the context of my sentences. Like, I just go straight for it. I'm like that with my kids. I'm like that with my girl. I'm like that at work. I'm like that with everybody. And it rubs some people the wrong way. So if you would rub the wrong way, I do apologize. I just don't sugarcoat nothing. I wasn't brought up like that. I was brought up by a bunch of men, like real manly men, you know what I'm saying? A lot of older brothers, like rough and tough, like that's just me. So I do apologize, but just moving forward, just know that's how I am, man. I just speak straightforward. Another thing is, I had a couple producers, like or people, challenge me on my creativity, my style, like asking me where my beats were at, and the other things are such as they don't really think my music is all that great, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I respect your decision. I respect your questioning. That's your humble opinion, your humbling question, and I'm not going to challenge you on that. That's you. You know what I'm saying? You got to live your life, and I'm going to live my life. So only thing I can say is that I try to make myself better every day as an artist. I am no longer, though, just known as a musical producer. So I don't make beats constantly every day. I'm no longer in that field anymore. So if you're looking for beats from me, especially my new beats that I'm making nowadays, which I really kind of got a grasp on what I'm doing, but I'm still learning. But I could kind of get to that point where it's very, very solid instrumentals and stuff like that. I'm literally making them for me. So my album and stuff like that. So I'll play some stuff, but I won't play everything. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just trying to make myself the best artist I can. And if I do gain people who like my content, like my music, then that's what's up. If I never gain anybody, I'll just be doing it for me, and I'll be doing it for the love of music. I love just making music. I love entertainment. That's why I'm a multi-talented individual. They call me a jack of all trades. I know how to dance. I know how to break dance. I know how to reggae dance. So all the pop and lock and all that stuff, right? I know how to draw. I know how to do graffiti. I know how to rhyme, rap, spit lyrics, bars, metaphors, punchlines. Okay. I know how to beatbox, for real, beatbox, harmonize, and all that stuff. I'm practicing on singing. I'm trying to get better at my singing. I practice every day at it, And it's other thing. I do a lot. I do graphic design. I'm really good at graphic design. I shoot music videos. Literally shoot music videos. I edit music videos. So I'm really good at chopping up those videos. I'm really embedded into, let's say, quote unquote, the culture. I'm embedded into music. Now, I'm not in the culture, I'm not major hit records and stuff like that, but I have been doing it for a long time. I quit, took a hiatus for 10 years, and I finally came back in 2018. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So when I'm creating my beats nowadays, right? As you can see, I got a track over here, right? Now, this is original though. This is original. This is not sampled. And the crazy part about this specific beat, this one specifically, is that when I recorded it, right, I recorded the sound. There's supernatural sound, supernatural, from the Roland FA06 keyboard. It's a workstation. So it's real pianos, real synthesizer, the real rolling sound. You get those real 80s sounds or whatever. You get real trombones, real trumpets, all that stuff, right? Angelic stuff, everything. But they're called supernatural sounds. When I made this beat, I took that keyboard played what I wanted to play through, let's say, my outboard gear. So I love guitar pedals. This is one of the things that I use, right? So I played whatever sound that I came up with in there, like, just messing around with like the attack, decay, sustain, release, all the functions that, I'm saying, I mess around with whatever supernatural sound that I had to get the sound that I wanted, and then I sent it through my pedals. When I sent the sound through my pedals, this was in a daisy chain. So it had like EQ, compressor, reverb, but they're all going in and out of each other. I'm using the ins and the outs, but they're daisy chain. So me personally, I'm not in a professional recording studio where the electricity inside your house, like inside your walls, the outlets are treated, like the room is treated. The I don't have the expensive cords and things of that nature that you put into the wall to stop the buzzing, the hum and stuff like that, especially when you start daisy chaining and things start acting up. But when I did do the daisy chain, I loved the sound that I had gotten. I didn't want to break up that sound. I didn't want to lose all the settings I had inside the keyboard, or I'm saying, or inside of on this and stuff like that. I didn't want to unplug anything. I didn't want anything to get messed up. So I kept it like how it was, and I recorded straight into the MPC with the effects on it. I didn't even record straight to the MPC. Now I know that I could have recorded onto the MPC and still went out and into my outboard gear and then went back into MPC. I know, but when I did this, I didn't do it that way. So once again, that's like limitations on creative. Sometimes people might want to do stuff one way, and sometimes they might want to do something the other way. And the reason why I wanted to do it the way that I did it is because I wanted to hit all of the ins and the outs on all of these out pieces of outboard gear. So when they went into the analog EQ has an in and has an out. So it's getting all the saturation or whatever texture from the inside of the device, from whatever capacitors and things of that nature that's in here, that's going to give it that nice texture, that nice warmth, the fatness. And then I wanted to go in and hit the end on the MPC. So I'm getting a lot of warmth and saturation and character coming from the pedals or the outboard gear going into the MPC. That's what I was going for. But doing it that way, it caused problems, and that's when you're creating original from scratch and organically, you run into all these technical issues like the people from back in the days. I could only imagine the technical issues that they ran into with the gear that they had, that had tons of limitations, and more noise than what we have. This MPC is not as noisy as older MPC that might have a lot more capacitors, a lot more moving parts inside. This MPC right here is mainly a PC, a PC board, PCB board, whatever the boards is. It's a computer board in here mainly. That's mainly what's inside of here is a board, like a computer board. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, digital noise is nasty, but when you hear digital noise, you just fix whatever it is, like unplug something, and then digital noise just goes away. Analog noise never goes away. That stuff is in there. It actually adds character to the sound when it's done right. You understand what I'm saying? So I literally, did what I did and I got my sound. But when I got the sound, I'm playing the track. I did a bunch of tracks and stuff like that. And then when I'm playing, I'm like, yeah, it sounds good. And then when I hit the stop button, I heard the artifacts. I heard the flaws in the audio recording. Now, that's a problem that I have to deal with now. I have to deal with that problem that's in my audio signal from creating original. Whereas if somebody was sampling from a record that's mixed from a mixing engineer and mastered from a mastering engineer who made sure, or actually, first of all, it was recorded from a recording engineer, because, making a record doesn't only have to be one individual, it could be a team. A recording engineer can record the record. Then a mixing engineer can mix the record. And then a mastering engineer can master the record. So from recording it, they make sure there's no flaws. You know what I'm saying? But if there are flaws in the recording process, Then the mixing engineer, their job is to get that stuff out of there. Then the mastering engineer is the icing on the cake. Then when they master it, they put it on tape first. Like usually they go to analog tape. They print it to analog tape. Then from analog tape goes to all the other mediums, records, and so forth. And when it goes to the analog tape, it's now going to add a bit of that analog warmth and saturation. It's going to add character. Then when it goes to record, it's going to add even more character. When it goes to CD, it's going to have that 44.1, you know what I'm saying? It's going to have that CD quality. When it goes to the tape, like we used to put tapes in our Walkman, it's going to have that tape wobble. You're going to have that tape delay. You're going to have it's going to sound good. It's going to sound, we fluctuate. It's going to sound great. I hope you know, I don't know. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. So when you sample, you cut all those steps. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about in the video that I make, that cinematic type video. You cut all those. You don't have to worry about that at all. So now you take that sound recording that's mixed master is perfect for you. You chop it into 3 billion chops. Everybody say, oh, you chop a bunch, chop a bunch, chop a bunch. So it's unrecognizable. Chop, 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 chop. So yeah, you chop, right? Then you say, oh, I need a bass line. So you go get another record. But you still take it from a recording that's ready for you to go. You don't have to deal with compression. You don't have to deal with EQ, cutting frequencies, boosting frequencies, getting out the resonant frequencies, doing D-reverb, getting out the room reverb, adding reverb, specific reverb that matches, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to pan. You don't have to pan sounds. The people who made the original track already panned the organ to the left, and they already panned the piano to the right, and they already had the bass line sitting in the center. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's already done for you. You hear it. That's why you love it and you like it, because it sparks something in you. That's not hard. that don't take creativity to hear something that's dope that somebody else did. You know what I'm saying? So, well, on my end, I had to create my melodies from scratch. I had to see how is I had to make a good melody. Or okay melody, whatever, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like my stuff, so I guess I had to make a garbage melody, right? But I had to make a melody, I had to make something. And I had to put my effects, and I gotta do compression, EQ, all the techniques. I gotta clean the audio, I gotta do all this stuff, right? I gotta make it sound good, right? Before you actually get into really, really mixing it. And then before you actually, either I will try to master, or I'll send it off to a master, you know what I'm saying? Before you even get printed onto a real medium like analog tape or wax, anything like that. I have to do a lot of work to get this thing. And on top of that, whatever happened to just started from a blank slate and trying to come up with a melody, trying to come up with an idea. That's not easy. It's hard. And try to get a melody that doesn't sound like everybody else. It's been maybe like 1 trillion songs created on this earth. So many that are copyrighted and registered in the copyright office. You could get flagged at any time for something that sounds similar. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you have to learn how to really make melodies, not make this BS stuff. So when I make my melodies, if I make it from the Roland keyboard or with the supernatural sounds, well, I'm really EQing. I'll cut out a whole frequency, like a couple frequencies, just so the sound changes really, really drastically in my favor. And that's one thing I did in this one. Or if I'm using a microfreak, which I don't have right here, I have the microfreak. I also have the Blofeld synthesizer. And the Blofeld synthesizer, I go in there, I start an empty patch, and I start with a sine wave. I start with a saw wave. You know what I'm saying? I start with just a basic waveform, and then I start tweaking that waveform, maybe doing some unison, maybe adding multiple layers and all this and that. I can do that because I'm an artist, so I've been practicing and trying to learn all the devices on how to make music from scratch. When I say I'm going to make music from scratch, I want to know how to use a synthesizer from a straight sine wave. And some people will say, like Knife Wonder said, you didn't create the sine wave. Nobody created the sine. Sine wave was created by God. You didn't say the sine wave, this sine wave is the letter D. That's what he said, whatever, this is the letter C. So, nobody's taking it to that level. That's you doing ultra defense mode at that point in time. Like, you eat food, I eat food. You didn't create food, God created food. But we both need that tool to survive, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. So anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna play this for you, and I'm gonna show you the floor that's in the sound. And now, me, I gotta mix that out. I gotta figure out how to get that out of my sound, because I can't have that in the audio path. Imagine that playing on a radio and you hear all that buzzing and humming and stuff like that on the radio. It can't be. It can't be. So I have to now step my game up as an artist and become a mixing engineer. What if I didn't know how to mix? What if I wasn't a mixing engineer? But I have to learn how to be a mixing engineer, because now I have to figure this stuff out, right? So that's what I'm saying. When you start from scratch, there's so many obstacles that could come up that sampling producers don't even think about, because they take it from other people, and they already got an idea. If I got a beat called "Sending Out the Army," I sample that. Only reason why I sampled that is because the chick, I think her name is Lauren or something like that, her voice sounded dope, and she was saying, she said, I'm sending out an army. I said, oh snap, I could make that, like, yo, sending out an army. I could make a dope hip hop track to it. That took literally seconds for me to do while I was driving in the car. I actually have a video on YouTube. Yes, I do. I got a video on YouTube, me talking about that. Me talking about me hearing a sample in the car, me running home and just chopping it up in like seconds. Didn't take me long to chop it up. A lot of people are making excuses for their way of creating music. I don't think you need to make an excuse for the way that you're creating music, man. Like, you're saying like, oh, we have to match the key. Well, I got to match the key too, man. Let me show you. Look at this bass line, right? I'll play the melody. Okay? Remember, this went through an analog EQ before it hit the MPC, and I cut out tons of frequencies to change the dynamic and the sound of that acoustic sound. And that sound right there is a piano. It's not. But it sounds like a angelic chorus pad. But that's literally a piano. But it's how I manipulate it on the rolling keyboard, and then going through the EQ, going through the compressor, and then going through this like reverb right here. And then I had another reverb too. So I sit there to 2 reverbs, and I got the sound. So, and I got a full song to this too. Yeah. Young, flying, grimy, similar to ghetto styles. You know I'm from New York, and every day is hostile. Every day we bang it, man. Fuck it, man. I go to trial. Haven't been there in a while. Greet the judge and crack a smile. Bang, bang, Dynasty. Fat like orangutans. Born in the 80s, man. Of course I see stranger things. Watch my image take flight. Top Gun, Maverick Wings, Netflix, taking flicks, Instagram, those type of things. Let them hate, pop shells at them. You know what I mean? Stand tall and bang on these niggas like Yao Ming. Float like a butterfly, deadly like a bee sting. Mike Tyson punch out, I'm deadly like a wedding ring. Here's the reason why I'm in love with that cocoa. $5 sucky, and I want that cho-cho. I'm strapped, full metal jacket, Mandalorian. Graduated top of my class, valedictorian. Bang, bang, all I wanna do is bang, yeah, and bust my hammers at you. Who I, bang, bang, all I wanna do is bang, yeah, and bust my hammers at you. Who I, yo. And I already told ya my guns go orangutan dynasty. Click, clack, loaded up, they bang, bang. Rope around my neck because I represent the chain gang. Oh, son. Stop. Anyway, so, yeah. But I'm writing records. I'm doing full songs from scratch. I'm not just doing a beat. So, anyway, and the beat's not even done, and I got a full record already. Anyway, so, I was messing around with the bass line, and somehow, I don't know, the bass line got messed up. It's like, I'm playing it regular, then the MIDI messed up. But it's still out of key and stuff. Listen. Anyway, so you get the point, right? Bassline messed up. It's crazy. So I gotta go back in here. Now I gotta match the key. And I don't even have the MIDI. I don't even have the MIDI for no more. That's you know what I'm saying? That's legit, just like the wave file. So now that's another instance of me having a problem. I might even have to scratch that bass line. It don't even sound good anyway. I'm just saying, I'm not going to use it, but scratch the bass line and start all over for the bass line to get it to match and make sure it's in key and make sure the MIDI and all that stuff don't mess up. Make sure when I'm playing and recording it's proper. But there's trial and error, mistakes that could happen when you starting from scratch. That sampling, you don't have to worry about. This is already complete already for you. It's done. So now let me let you hear the problem. It took me 20 minutes to get to the problem. I got to stop doing that. Anyways, so I'll play it. The problem is going to be at the end. You're going to hear it. Stop the sound. Now, I hope you heard it. I'll play it again. One more time. Now, this is how you know that I'm not lying when I say it's an audio file. When I record and stop, MIDI stops automatically. So that's audio. That's not MIDI. So you know what I'm saying? The audio file's there. So that's bad. That's not good. That can't be in there. But I didn't even hear that when I was recording it, because I'm recording. I'm going through all the pedals and all that stuff. So it had like a lot of effects and things of that nature. I didn't even hear that until I already got in here and I started moving stuff around. I started doing the drums and all that. I'm like, yeah, it's knocking. It's good. It's good. I'm writing the chorus. I'm writing the verse and stuff like that. I already had one verse, but I started writing the new verse. And then I pressed stop one time. I was like, stop. And I heard it. All the artifacts, like the little hum and like the hiss and the air in there. That's bad. That can't be on the radio. I got to fix that, man. Now, I have to wear many hats. I have to be the rap artist. I have to be the musical producer. I have to be the composer. I have to be the mixing engineer that fixes problems by myself. I have to know, first of all, I had to know how to create an angelic melody like that. Can you create an angelic? That's a piano pluck. That's a piano sound, sounding like this. Let me get the drums over here. Do you know what I did to make that? Do you know what I did to make that? Do you know my settings that were on here? Do you know my settings that were on this reverb? These not the settings. These knobs are just turned anyway. But do you know my settings on here? Do you know how to work this reverb? This is not your VST. This is not your typical VST reverb. This reverb does a lot of stuff. A lot, man. A lot. So I had to master how to use this reverb, and then I had to EQ the piano in a certain way to free up space, so that the texture and all that stuff for the reverb and all that stuff can come through. Do you listen to the sound? The sound is actually hitting multiple frequencies. It has shimmer in there. But the shimmer is sitting perfect, dude. And this is, come on, man. Come on. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I thought. Yeah, so I had these highlighted for no reason. It's literally right here. Okay? This one sound literally has multiple frequencies in it from a piano sound. You can't tell me that creating original is not harder than sampling from somebody else. You literally can't tell me how I got a piano sound, plucked piano sound, to have multiple frequencies: high, mid, and then the mid-low sounds from one piano sound. You cannot tell me that's rhythmic, angelic, cinematic. That's original. That's sound design, actually. Even though I didn't start from a sine wave per se, I still really sound designed a piano to make an angelic, dreamy pad sound. Do you know how to do that from scratch and have it look like this? The only problem I have with that loop is that my electricity in my house had the artifacts and that noise going inside. That's the only problem that's in that loop. Only problem. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. What's up here? That's another part. I mean, that's another part. So the track is not just one loop. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, son. That's creative. That's legit, man. Come on. Okay, and just because it's broken up into pieces doesn't mean that's easier. That's my creativity. And that's my creativity for making a full record, making the bridge, making the verses, making the chorus. You can't hate and say that it was easy. No, it wasn't easy. It's not easy to play that stuff out like that. I don't even know how to play any chords, but I had to sit there and play and move my fingers and wait. I broke both my hands. I got crazy. Some people crazy, son. I literally broke both my hands knocking this dude out, son. I broke him, man. Listen, man. I can't even play the piano correctly, man. This knuckle right here, it came back a little bit. This knuckle right here was so flat. It was like flat. But over the years, it came back. I didn't even have a pinky knuckle, dude. You know what I'm saying? I broke my hand. Look at that. You see that? I broke my when I tell you I was dinging this dude, I was dinging him. And I broke the center. You can see it right here. I broke the center of this hand. You see how fat this side of the hand is? So I technically have a handicap. So it's really hard for me to play the goddamn piano or the keyboard. The people have hands. There's some shit that happens in life, dude. But you going to hate on somebody because of that? Because they can't play like Beethoven? Get the fuck out of here, man. So I do my best. And I try. And it hurt. Like this shit, when I move this finger, the index finger, middle finger, it hurt. It hurt. When I'm working at my job, man, my hands be hurting. The people don't know about me, son. I work harder than anybody, but I be in pain. I got a torn muscle in my shoulder right now. I be in pain at work, but I never show it. I just work hard, man. I work hard on my music. I work hard on everything. I work on my stuff from scratch, dude. From scratch. So, yeah, it's a long one, man. I'm about to get up off of here, but I got a cinematic video coming about this topic. And you gotta give people who work from scratch more credit than saying it's easy. You saying it's easy. That is you saying it's easy because you don't really understand the true dynamics of creating from scratch. I made a full song literally to this beat, and I might not even be able to use the beat because of all the flaws that's inside the audio. I would have to go back into the rolling keyboard and try to reset all of my guitar gear again and try to recreate it. Or clean the audio signal. But the problem with that is it's so much texture in there, I might take away from what I created already, and it might make me lose interest in the song. So it's a lot that goes on. There's so many hats when you sit at home and create original by yourself. I'm not even the people from the 60s and the 50s that will go to Motown Records and have musicians come into play. I got to try to figure this shit out on my own. So you might not like how my shit sound, but guess what? At least I'm trying, and I'm trying hard. I'm trying harder than most of y'all. I'm trying harder than the people to me who just sample because you're getting a head start. You fucking put on a Celine Dion record right now, you got a head start. You put on Diana Ross record, you got a head start. I don't care if you sample like Garth Brooks, country music, southern music, if you sample from overseas, some Egyptian music, but you literally, something tingling inside your mind and your heart and your soul from hearing that sample. You're getting a head start. You're getting a jump. I literally started this track literally with a blank slate like this. Nothing on there, man. I had no mind. I had nothing. I don't know what I'm going to do. When I turn on the rolling keyboard, I don't know what keys I'm going to press. I don't even know what is D minor, what is A minor. I don't know how to press those keys on the keyboard. But I'm going with the feeling. I'm going with the flow. Was I angry that day? If I was angry that day, best believe it might be a dark beat or it might be an angelic beat. I don't know. But when you starting with a sample, it's already saying like, oh, I can't live no more. And you like, oh yeah, I'm about to loop that shit up. I can't live no more. So you find multiple mini chops. You go, I can't live no more. Whatever the fucking bullshit sample is, then you go get a bass line when you want to match the key. That shit is not hard to match the key, dude. Literally, you can fucking go in here in the settings and you can figure out how to match keys and all that shit. Go in here and you look at the audio file. And you know what I'm saying, I can't find the menu right now, but you know what I'm saying, you go in here, you pull up the whole track and you match the key and all you do is tune it up, semitones, turn it down, semitones. It's not that hard, man. Just stop acting like matching key is hard. It's not that hard, but it is something that original producers have to do and sampling producers have to do. And we really have to do it because we really have to make headroom. We really have to figure out the whole scale, how the sounds are going to fall into each other. How we gotta make room, a lot of room. Make room for the vocals, make room for the bass, make room for the kick, make room for the cymbals, make room for the close hat, make room for the hi-hat, make room for the trombone, make room for all you know what I'm saying, the wind instruments, all the, you know what I'm saying, like they all have names, like the wind instrument, the pipe instruments. Make room for all that. You know what I mean? You have to make room, you have to fit it in. You still have to flow, be angelic, be on tempo, be on beat. You gotta rhyme, you gotta be able to, you know what I'm saying? People gotta feel it, they gotta feel it in their heart, they gotta feel some type of emotion about it. They gotta be able to tell a story. The track gotta be able to tell a story. You gotta make somebody feel something. Like, come on, dude. And that's from scratch. It's not from a sample that's already helping you make somebody feel something. You got a sad sample. Somebody's like, I want to die. I can't live no more. And you loop that shit up and you find the kick drum. You find the snare. You find the bass line, all this other shit. But the whole premise of the song is already made for you. Look at Jay-Z's album. When they sample like 90% of the album. There's a whole shit of sample like Song Cry. Song Cry, they chopped up like 90, Just Place chopped up 90 chops. But he already had the whole sound composition. All you gotta do, put it into the MPC, and you fucking get a snack, and you just sit there like, oh, okay, okay, let's move this over. Like if you're on the screen, you're like, oh, let me move this here, move this here. I got this chop. It's like, ooh. But did Just Blaze sing that ooh? No, the singer who sang that ooh had to learn how to sing that ooh. From childhood, they had to go to singing school. Somebody had to find that talent, get that talent into the studio. There's so many parts that go into getting a record made that they sampled, that they skip all that. Now, if I want to put a vocal in here, I got to sing it, or I got to get a sing. I have to do more work, man, to get the song the way I wanted it to be. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me, son. Y'all think it's a game, dude. I speak the facts. Y'all trying to challenge me because your feelings are hurt because you sample a lot. You don't want to give in. Y'all stubborn. Y'all want to fight, and y'all gonna forever be like that. But your boy 05 Dynasty, I see the light, and I bang out my shit original. Peace. I'm out.